Saycon Sengbloh. Welcome to Upfront. How are you?
I'm excellent. Hello, Ray. Thank you so much for having me.
You're actually a part of an ongoing series that I've been doing titled The Show Must Go On, Entertainment and COVID-19, and just talking to individuals in the arts and entertainment community and how you guys have been impacted by COVID-19. So much is going on. I know that this is week number 9 for myself of working from home and being home and staying home, just not going into the office, not being out, and really following the rules and trying to social distance. And so I thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be here with us today. Let's go back, if we can, to when you found out about COVID-19 and just what was going on at that time, and where were you as the virus started hitting the United States?
Man, I mean, can you believe that this is what's happening right now? I was here in New York, excitedly. I just have to tell you and your audience that I just filmed a movie about Aretha Franklin. And we were filming, we were going back and forth from city to city and shooting this amazing movie. And we wrapped the movie in February, like late February. We literally shot our last couple of scenes here in New York. And it was, that there's a space that I go into as a performer when I'm post gig, right? So I'm in my post gig space. I'm prepared to be unemployed. I know that I don't have work. But it was February, January, February, March, April, like I would say the spring, like February through April is generally known as pilot season. Although because of all the different networks, lots of shows shoot all year round, but this was slam in the middle of pilot season. I was auditioning like a crazy woman. I finished my movie, we wrapped the movie, and I was going to networks, NBC, ABC, CBS, the CW, I was going, which I worked with before. I'm on this show called In the Dark. So I was just, focused on that and building my podcast. I have a podcast, it's called Saycon Talks. So I was just working on that and doing self-tapes as well. We do a lot of self-tapes. And I remember when I went to the dentist, I had a dental appointment in March, and the dentist was asking me if I had a fever. Do you have any of this? Do you have any? And I was like, no, I'm fine. And I remember I'm a big tea junkie. I went to this great tea spot and I bought some tea that day. And I just remember that everybody, we had been hearing everything, but on the train, on the way to the dentist and on the subway back, everybody was just on the train, like sort of holding their breath, I had seen some rumors online. I had a coach come here to coach me. But then once everything really hit the fan, it was just this weird position as actors where you're like, again, a TV show could change my life. It's pilot season, and I just finished my last gig. What is going to be my last gig? What is going to be my next gig? We have to be social in order to do these acting tapes. And so it just became like a stressful thing. And so I literally kind of did my last couple of tapes, and then I told my agents, I said, hey, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down, and just focus on my health and my wellness, my family, and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the thing is, even in the midst of trying to be like, because this is the thing, people say, oh, well, your stuff, you can just do it online. We can do it online. But when there's anxiety affecting you and you're worried about your health and you're like, it's hard to just even focus on performing when you are afraid, I started getting emails, hey, sing for relief and do this and that. And I personally, when it first went down, I just was not ready for that. I was wanting to secure my own sense of well-being. I was just not ready to be trying to perform for other people. And, so that's one of the interesting things being a performer is people wanting you to make them happy, wanting you to make them feel good. It's, you know what I mean? It's a part of what we do as performers. So that part was really tough for me.
Okay. So how has COVID-19, affected you personally? How have you been dealing with this on a personal level?
Well, on a personal level, it's been difficult at times because I am in New York, which on the news, everything is so terrible about New York being like the hotbed of the thing. And I'm sheltering in alone. I'm not living with family. I've been focused on knowing that my family as well. I have some family in New Jersey. I have family in Atlanta. Um, I have family in Chicago, Detroit, but I am sheltering in alone. And so, you know, and my friends who I was doing all those audition tapes with and stuff, we're all individually in our own individual apartments. So there was a time where we would be the only people that we would see. And then that stopped.
Oh, wow.
We stopped doing tapes, we stopped seeing each other. And I have one friend who likes to check on me. Sometimes will bring me some groceries or something like that. But for the most part, I go out and get my own groceries. And I get deliveries, from, different companies, but that's been kind of difficult I've been living by myself for a long time, but, you know, your work life becomes and your social life, and being in New York, you don't live in New York for the big old houses, because it ain't, you know what I mean, unless you're living upstate or living in like big fancy apartments and condos. So if you're living in your average everyday 1-2 bedroom apartment, it's not a huge place. You're living here for the culture, to be able to go out, go to the events, go to the New York life. And since all of that is shut down, I already personally was considering moving and doing a more unconventional life as an actor, maybe living in an unconventional base city and then flying out for my gigs. Because a lot of my gigs have not been in New York. Especially in the last 2-3 years, I've been doing a lot more television. But so that's been one of the most difficult parts, is not having contact with people. And I love doing YouTube, the whole Saycon Talks thing. It's fun to interact with people, but it's not a physical touch,
Yeah.
and so that part has been difficult. The funny thing is, I'm a homebody. I'm at home playing with my little herbal tea, making tea concoctions and cooking and padding around my house, reading books, and that's my life, right? And then when I get a gig, I'm like, gig, sing. And then after that, I'm back home. I'm like,
Yeah.
but like, to be home and know that you have the option to leave,
It's different.
it's different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, this is cozy, but I can't go to the mall. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not even a big shopper like that. Like I literally putting myself in the mode to like shop online. It's like a thing. I purposefully didn't get into online shopping like other people because I'm a homebody. So if I got into that, I would never leave my house. So I always would be like, oh, I need to go and get some dishwashing liquid. Like, let me go do that. Like make it an activity, to go out in your day. But I find myself here, I'm like talking to my plants and taking care of them. And like, not having the option is like, whew, it's tough,
Yeah. Let's talk about, if we can, how confident are you in going back to Broadway in September? That is the projected time that they're looking to reopen theaters. Do you, as a performer, feel confident going back into a space with an audience?
Well, something interesting. Let me see. Okay, so this summer, I was supposed to be performing at Encores Off Center with Regina Taylor's play, Crowns. And this is a play, a very popular play that's been done regionally a lot of places.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that it's ever been done in New York. So we were supposed to do Crowns with Patricia McGregor directing, and I believe Lillias White was supposed to be in it. This was going to be like, a really wonderful production.
Yeah.
And it's canceled. I don't know if they're moving it or moving the date of it. We're trying to figure out when the, Respect movie is coming out. That's the movie that I did with Jennifer Hudson and Forrest Whitaker, Marlon Wayans. We did finish the movie, and we finished shooting. We finished our principal photography, which is a blessing. I've heard that the movie will come out in December. So I'm hoping that can happen, the December movie, openings, red carpet, all that stuff. But if the nation is not ready, I am okay with taking it easy so that we can really decrease the curve so that everybody can be better, so that we can be as healthy as possible.
Well, Saycon, thank you so much for being a guest today on Upfront, and again, for taking time out of your schedule to be a part of this ongoing conversation. The show must go on, entertainment and COVID-19. How can our listeners and viewers continue following you? You mentioned your YouTube channel, so if you can give that again as well.
Yes, so you guys can follow me, all of my social media. Sorry. It's funny, I had a dream that I lost my voice. And when I woke up, I was like,
wow.
It was so weird. I dreamed that I had like laryngitis. Anyway, okay. So your audience, everybody can find me. My social media is Saycon Sengbloh, right? So Saycon Sengbloh, everybody can find me under that. But you can also find me under Saycon Talks. So on YouTube, I have the Saycon Talks. And I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, say sing on Snapchat if you like to have the fun with the Snapchat.
Yeah.
I just joined TikTok. I'm on everything. So you just put my name in and you can find it. But Saycon Talks is the thing I'm most excited about that I'm producing, which is a podcast. If you are into podcasts, that podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all the major places that podcasts are found. I think it's on like 9 different platforms right now. And I'm having the most fun with that. People can join in to be supporters of the podcast. And it's just a wonderful thing. I'm really enjoying it. I love talk. And as a voiceover artist, if you have Alexa, you can play a game. It's called Westworld the Maze, and it's based on the television series Westworld. And you will hear my voice like walk you through this audio game. It's a lot of fun. You just say, Alexa, open Westworld the Maze, and you'll hear that.
Oh,
but
wow.
I hope that you will open my Saycon Talks podcast and hear me and my little talks, my lifestyle talks, experiences, just being an actor here in New York City and in Toronto where I film, and in LA and in Atlanta, all the places that I work. I get to experience a lot of really interesting things, and I get to be a cool fly on the wall around some really cool people. So, hopefully people will follow me online, check out the podcast. I'm Saycon Sengbloh. You can check out Saycon Talks.
Yeah. Again, thank you so very much, and continue to stay safe.
Thank you. You stay safe as well.